Baltimore, not this again. The Red Sox are being spooked by one bad week from a highly touted rookie who has otherwise impressed in his first look. Sound familiar? Xander Bogaerts. Rafael Devers, whose .828 ops is second on the team only to rehabbing Eduardo Nunez, was benched for the series finale against the Orioles last night. Manager John Farrell said Devers looks tired and that fatigue, in the skipper's opinion, has led to 5 straight games in which Devers has committed an error at third base. I don't think it is that, Devers said. I feel physically very good. Yet Farrell's choice at the hot corner last night was Steven Marrero, whose career .575 ops ranks among the 4 worst the Sox have seen over the last 15 years. The Sox scored 1 run in 11 innings the night before. And though the Bats erupted in last night's 90 win, their .690 ops over the previous 25 games ranked last in the American League. And the offense doesn't need the help. 2 weeks ago, Devers was the golden boy. Not only was he hitting, but he was making diving grabs and covering miles of ground on the left side of the infield. Converting slow rollers looked easy. His arm was strong. Suddenly, Farrell sounds spooked. You're in a pennant race, many extended games where you're into hours on the field, Farrell said of Devers. All these are a first for him. And while he may not recognize how much it taxes the body, it's ongoing. Cheerful and energetic while chatting at his locker before the game, Devers disagreed. The mentality I have, when I'm getting ready in the off-season, is to play in the big leagues, so I get ready for a 6-7 season, he said. I don't want to make errors. I want to be a big league third baseman. Those are just moments that happen in the game. And up until now, I think I've played pretty well. To be clear, Farrell said on his pre-game radio spot on WE that he believes Devers will be the starting third baseman in the playoffs. But then he volunteered another idea: he might starting pulling the kid late in games for a defensive replacement. That's all well and fine in September, when the Sox are carrying 37 players on their roster. But they can carry only 25 in the postseason. So who exactly is going to play better defense than Devers in a postseason game? Nunez, out since September 10 with a knee sprain, has been considered a below-average defender his entire career. Brock Holt has been solid at 7 positions, but he's the first to admit he isn't the same player he was 2 years ago. Third base is one of his least comfortable positions. And he hasn't played there since July. Are the Red Sox really going to carry Marrero in the playoffs? Can they afford to be so confident in their offense? They're one of 6 teams in 2017 without a qualified hitter with an ops of at least .800. They would be just the second such team to qualify for the postseason since the institution of the wild card in 1995. How quickly we forget what Devers did to Aroldis Chapman, hitting a 102 miles per hour fastball on the outer corner of the plate for an opposite field homer in Yankee Stadium in the 9th inning of his 15th major league game. Even though the Sox have stopped hitting, Devers hasn't, with a .320 average and .358 OBP over his last 12 games. And then there's the matter of confidence. Remember the last time Farrell got spooked by a young player in a mini slump and turned away from him? Bogaerts' defense was a work in progress in 2014, his rookie season, but he was hitting .304 with an .835 ops over the first 2 months that year when Farrell and the Red Sox decided to sign Stephen Drew off the streets and replace Bogaerts at shortstop. Bogaerts hit .177 over the next 2 months before the Sox had seen enough out of Drew to admit they'd made a mistake. Also 20 years old in his first pennant race, Bogaerts has given Devers some advice. Bogey tells me, no matter what happens, if I strike out, if I make a bad play in the field, don't think about it too much, Devers said. He says to just play your baseball freely, the way you'd normally play it. Keep that mindset. Third base is one of the few positions the Red Sox don't have a Gold Glove candidate this year. They're willing to risk shattering the confidence of one of their best hitters and one of the brightest young players they have in order to shore it up.